All right, over here at the right-hand side of the map is actually another Brood War pro, except he never accomplished anything in Brood War. Here he is trying to make his name in StarCraft 2 instead. Used to be smart.
This is JYP.
Not that he used to be intelligent, but his nickname actually used to be smart. That was his ID for a while.
And at the left side of the map, Belcher Beach in blue once more. The Swedish player losing the first map. It is
Funky Gaming SaSe.
And he...
The way he says that, it sounds like he's saying Funky Gaming SaSe.
Yeah, those voices are a little bit weird sometimes. I mean, the last time I heard the Zerg voice say Don Ragu, I nearly fell asleep. It was like the...
They are very soothing. It's strange.
I like Terran though. Terran is like, has more of a whip to it.
Yeah.
And here we go with both of them throwing down the warp gate already. SaSe, we already mentioned it, went for that fast Link Stalker build on the last map. He tried to shine by using his micro, but JYP was able to hold him off long enough to not only start his expansion, but also get those Immortals in the mix. SaSe just waiting a little bit too long. He wanted to play that one base style, and if you do that, you really have to be sure about the time when you are going to attack. SaSe missed out on that just a little bit, and that proved to be his downfall.
Yes, indeed, and both players just going for the very, very standard play here. Going for the gateway, the gas, second pylon, and then the core. Very, very normal stuff. Again, you know, we say this a lot, but it does often come down to, in PvP, you have to kind of wait until you get a stalker out so you can kill their scouting probe. So then you can decide what you're going to do. And hold that thought, actually, never mind. We're actually going to see a second gateway right away from SaSe.
And while we're at it, once again, I just want to emphasize that SaSe is a player that really has a lot of experience. He was not only a former Warcraft 3 pro for years, but also in StarCraft 2, he has quite a decent ratio against Protoss. 56% of his games against TOS are decided in his favor. He won 41 games, lost only 32. And the last 2 games that he played in PvP were actually against his colleague and countryman, Naniva. He lost to him at the MLG Global Invitational Europe just a few weeks ago, but he was able to take out Naniva, the MLG Orlando, with 2-0. Now he has to face JYP, and he is behind. He lost the first map and really needs to step up his game if he wants to take the next 2 maps and win this best-of-3 series. Yeah, he has his work cut out for him.
It looks like SaSe is going for, well, he was going for basically the 3 stalker rush, I think. I think he has a stalker out on the map already. He's making 2 more right now. And held that thought. SaSe is actually just planted down 2 more gateways.
4 gate for him. We have him cut his probes at 22, and his opponent is doing exactly the same. Yeah. So we are going to see a 4 gate by both of these players. None of them is producing additional probes right now. Researching the warp gate technology. This will come down to micro.
And this is a map where you almost have to 4 gate because there's no ramp. There's a wide ramp at your natural, but you're not going to be able to hold that very easily with sentries or anything like that. So if you don't 4 gate and they do, which they probably will, then you have no way of defending with any kind of tech. So when there's no ramp to hold with a sentry, you often see 4 gate versus 4 gate going on. So not surprised to see that going on for both players. Both players trying to plant pylons in almost identical locations in each other's thirds to get forward locations to warp in.
JYP is now squeezing in 2 additional probes in order to get a slight economical advantage over SaSe. He's on 23 probes against 21. SaSe now moving in. He has 9 stalkers against 8. Here we go. Will his micro be able to win this game for the Swedish player? Here it comes down to the micro fight. One of the stalkers is already dead of JYP. A second one dies as well. SaSe pulling back his own stalkers. He needs to be careful. He needs to be careful. Losing way too many units. Oh my god. At the same time, JYP, look at that, is placing down a pylon in the main base of his opponent. That could be horrible if he's able to warp in Zealots at that occasion.
He does pick off 1 additional stalker, which is good because he kind of lost 2, and it did come down to the micro fight.
At the same time, we have the Zealots in the economy line of SaSe, killing probes left and right. This is horrible for SaSe right now. He needs to attack, and that exactly what he's doing. But oh, JYP with 9 to 8 Stalkers and the Zealots in the main base of his opponent.
Oh no, still killing more probes. Running around in circles instead of just stopping and fighting, so he is killing probes and not dying, causing a distraction. This is horrible for SaSe. He's now 4 probes behind, which is a huge deal in such a close PvP.
And it's not only about the probes, it's also about the Stalker count. SaSe is already behind with 2 Stalkers. He can't really engage. We have a beautiful spread by JYP right at the entrance of his main base. So the Korean player is looking really good here, and SaSe is struggling quite a lot. He's rebuilding his probes using the Chrono Boost in order to do so. But SaSe now needs to do something, and he decides to go for the Twilight Council.
Yes, if he can get Blink before JYP does and engage, even if he has less Stalkers than JYP, which he does, if he can get Blink, then he will be able to win the battle. But I believe we just saw Twilight Council go down for JYP as well. So there's only going to be a brief window of time when SaSe is going to have Blink and JYP doesn't.
And here comes SaSe once again with the Stalkers trying to approach his opponent. Just by this time, SaSe lost the pylon now as well, so he was supply block. He is still supply, maybe able to take down at least the Zealots. Yes, here we go. And JYP tries to force that battle. Is retreating. Is he losing one of his Stalkers? Certainly looks like it. One Stalker's already down. SaSe needs to... Oh, nice. Kill the Stalker. Lost one himself. He's still behind in supply. But the Blink is being researched for SaSe. He's chrono boosting that upgrade.
And these Stalkers are going to get intercepted by JYP's Stalkers. They stop the fight and he loses one of his... Oh, almost loses one of his own Stalkers. Does lose it. He's behind in Stalker count now. This is horrible for SaSe. He's forced to fall back to this choke point. He's going to have to defend with those 2 sentries until Blink completes, but it is very close to completion now.
And then he will be able to micro. Will it be enough though? 11 against 13 Stalkers. The sentries might later on be able to use the Guardian Shield as well, giving him another edge over his opponent. 57 against 54 supply. Blink being researched for JYP now as well. If SaSe attacks right when Blink finished, he might have the chance to take out a lot of these Stalkers if he's on top of his game in regards to the micro.
No, you're exactly right. This timing when Blink completes is going to be his main time to get something done.
Here we go.
If he can't get anything done with these Blink Stalkers, he will lose. And here he goes in, moving in, but he's got a bad concave. Beautiful concave for JYP, and he's not letting SaSe get out of his own choke point right now. SaSe is blinking for all he's worth to try and get some damage done without taking damage of his own, though.
SaSe is losing a lot of his shields. Moltrap mentioned it already. The position for JYP just a tiny bit better, but SaSe pulling ahead in supply is moving out again. Blinking, biding his time. 17 against 17 supply. The sentries have enough energy now for a Guardian Shield. He doesn't use them just yet. And here JYP is trying to attack once more.
The army.
But the Blink is done for JYP as well, and he's making use of it.
And that may be it for SaSe because, well, actually they're about even now. If SaSe can get a better position, he needs to make sure he uses that concave. Both players blinking back like crazy. The injured one's trying to go back. SaSe also pulling them back manually without blinking. Beautiful micro by SaSe. JYP blinking back as well, though. It is just a battle of warp-ins and micro. This is absolutely crazy. Everything injured below the shields, and finally the Stalkers start dying, and the JYP barely comes out ahead with a couple extra Stalkers.
His
and that is all it's going to take.
Stella is really good. Amazing. He blinks in for the kill. SaSe has 2 free units. GG's. And loses the second game, taken out by JYP with 2-0.
Wow, that was an amazing micro fight though. Both players blinking back and forth. A blink going off every couple of moments. But SaSe, Quantic Gaming has been defeated by JYP and eliminated from this season of Coding.
SaSe really tried hard, but in the end it was just too much. The blink micro of his opponent was actually amazing. JYP did such a good job. It was really not a numbers game. When that fight started, we had them on an even count of Stalkers, both at the blink upgrade. SaSe even had the Guardian Shield, so JYP did a really good job at blinking with those Stalkers. You already mentioned that he also manually moved them behind the rest of those Stalkers, but still, I have to admit that the micro by JYP was just magnificent in that battle.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And I think the real point at where JYP won the game was when SaSe had to fall back to his choke point, and he was defending, and Blink completed, and JYP fanned his troops out in a beautiful concave so that SaSe couldn't actually get out to engage with his Blink Stalkers. He was trying to do it. He would go out, he'd kill Stalker and blink back, kill Stalker and blink back, but he couldn't actually get out and engage in a full-on fight, which is what he needed to do in those 20 seconds when he had Blink and JYP did not. So JYP stopped him from using his advantage until he got the same advantage.
And SaSe trying to get out of this situation, trying to break out of his base, break that contain, lost a lot of shields on nearly all of his Stalkers, which was also a big factor in the fight that, well, basically we saw in the end of the game, just because by then the energy, the shields were not regenerated.
Yeah, pretty much. So SaSe putting up a valiant fight, but is going to go ahead and fall to TSL's JYP. Coach Lee of TSL's over here. He is happy about it. But we're going to get into our last match here pretty soon after a quick 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss Naniwa versus Lucky.